All right, I'm being joined on Radio On the Go Sports by a freshly Gatorade-bathed Cole Miller after a 38-7 victory over Dike New Hartford here on the home field. Holy cow, what a statement for this team. What can you say about this awesome victory here tonight?
Yeah, we came firing on all cylinders tonight. We played a pretty complete game as far as phases of the game go. There's some things in the fourth quarter we wanted back, but offensively we started out hot. We were able to march the ball down, hit some passes, and when we got down to the red zone, we were able to run the ball effectively. And Blake did a great job in the air tonight, distributing the ball to a bunch of different people. Aiden had a phenomenal night on some catches and some runs and some broken tackles. Our running backs, they had to earn every yard that they gained tonight in our offensive line. They had to fight up front to give them those running lanes. So just, a great night offensively. Defensively, we challenged them early in the week to stop the run and make them one-dimensional in the pass game, and we were able to do that as well. And except for a couple plays that we want back, but they played great. And then our special teams really set the tone. That first kickoff, they went down and they planted some kids and put them deep in their own end zone. So it was a great start for us tonight, and we were able to finish strong.
Yeah, and big picture with the result of this game, with Denver beating Vinton-Schellsburg, that makes you the 2 seed, so a home playoff game next week. So, you guys knew the stakes coming in. And to be able to perform at this level after really an up and down season, what does that mean to you guys?
Yeah, that was and we told them early on that we still, in a way, controlled our own destiny. If we could beat Dike and score enough points, we were able to earn that home game, whether Denver ended up beating Benton or not. But so the kids, they took that challenge and they answered it really well. They played, like I said, they played great in all phases of the game, and for us to be able to respond to that pressure and not crumble under it, they just played like it was another football game. So that was very encouraging too.
Mm-hmm. You went with a 5-2 defense here against Dike New Hartford, and it sure worked out, especially early on. It almost seemed like they didn't even know what hit them, like they couldn't get anything going. How are you guys able to perform, making a little bit of a defensive adjustment there?
Yeah, and Dike's a proud tradition. They're really good at football all the time, and one thing that they're always going to do is they're going to try and run it right at you. And if they figure out something in the run game that's working, you're going to see it over and over and over again. So we wanted to beef up our front seven, and let those guys try and cram those running lanes, let our linebackers flow and make tackles. And our front seven played really well tonight, and we were able to kind of turn them into a one-dimensional team. They had to go to the air to try and move the ball, except for a few plays like I've said already. But overall we played really good on defense.
Mm-hmm. And then offensively, you mentioned it, but you guys were not afraid to go for the deep ball tonight. Aiden Keene, a couple of great catches for touchdowns as well. Just tell me a little bit about being able to kind of stretch the field and how that really played into you guys' favor tonight.
Yeah, we knew, Blake early on in the week, watching film, said he really, felt good about reading this defense. So we knew we wanted to throw the ball and give him and Aiden and Brody and Brady and Ryder and all those other guys on the perimeter a shot to go make some plays. And there's always going to be ones that he wants back. That's the type of player that he is. He's never happy unless he's doing the right thing 100% of the time. But he had a great night, and he made a lot of the right decisions. And he's the reason that we were able to open it up early and build the lead with all those throws, and then that they had to back off, and that allowed us to run the ball well.
We were talking a little bit on the broadcast, but coming into the season, it seemed like this team really had potential to have a performance like this. And I know it was kind of an up and down year, some games where you maybe kind of shot yourselves in the foot a little too much, but I have to imagine this was pretty fulfilling, seeing kind of everything kind of culminate in this one tonight.
Yeah, for sure. We've known the potential's there. We have a talented football team. Sometimes discipline is in our strong suit, so we've really been trying to crack down on that the last few weeks. And we had a lot of penalties tonight, which is unfortunate, but we only had 2 the week before. So the discipline's coming. We're starting to play assignment-based football and not get some penalties, and we're doing a better job. We're protecting the football, which is huge. So the kids are responding to all the challenges that we give them, all the focuses we put in throughout the week, and they're hitting their stride going into the playoffs, which is that's encouraging.
Mm-hmm. We talked about a few different players. Anyone else kind of want to shout out for their efforts? I know a lot of people performed really well here tonight.
Yeah, I wish I could list them all.
Yeah.
Aiden had a great night. catching the ball deep, using his speed, breaking some tackles. Brody had a great night being an outlet for our bubble to Blake to throw it out when they were cramming the box. Brady did a lot of dirty work in the trenches and blocked really well for us at that tight end spot. Hudson played a fullback for the first time this year and was leading the hole and did a great job. And we rewarded him with a handoff at the end of the game there too. So I mean, I could keep singing everyone's praises. Offensive, defensive line. They all did really good. And Carter Arns, not only on defense, but he stuck some people on special teams today too. So I mean, how long you got? So
exactly. So when it comes to this upcoming week of practice, obviously a huge momentum boost for this team, regardless of who you play. It'll be a home game next week. What are your thoughts on how this team's going to attack this playoff practice? I know it's your first time in the playoffs here in a few years.
Yeah, they were on the team when we made the playoffs with as freshmen when we made the playoffs a few years ago. So they have a little bit of like what the next week is going to be about, but they're going to respond well. It's just another football game when it comes down to it. Bigger stakes, things like that. But the stakes couldn't have been much higher tonight, and they responded really well. So I'm excited to see the guys get back to work on Monday. We're gonna enjoy the win this weekend, and then we'll get back to work on Monday.
All right. Any final thoughts you'd like to share here tonight?
Just thank you to the crowd. They did a great job. Our announcer, Coach Sauk, does a great job of getting them into the game and doing all that to get them jazzed up. So just a huge shout out to our crowd and our announcer doing everything they can to bring the energy up for us.